The most heavily requested videos on the channel have been full day of eatings. On prep, I hate shooting full day of eatings, just simply due to the fact that I feel like I eat like a dog. Same meals, same time, every day. But now that we're in our off season, we get a little bit of flexibility. What you gonna do? Put on quite a show. One trip, everybody knows the rule. All right guys, so it is currently 11:30 a.m. and this is typically when I have my first meal. Since I'm only 6 weeks post-show, it's important for me to make sure that I'm maximizing my volume and honestly to help me stay sane. So I like to close my eating window by pushing my first meal back by a few hours, doing my fasted cardio in the morning, client work. It allows me to kind of keep my mind off of food. And then by 11:30, usually my stomach is telling me to get my ass in the kitchen and make meal one. So right now we're taking down 350 grams of egg whites, 1 whole egg, and we got a little sanity keepers on the side to keep us going, and then low calorie bread, 40 calories per slice. So we're gonna have 4 of these, and we're gonna make a breakfast sandwich. I'm telling you guys, this is how meal one should be done. Absolutely. Everybody in the club got the rise on me. I gotta show them what I do with it. Everything is looking up at the house on me. I gotta show them what I do with it. Like, ooh, yeah, step on up, put some hair on the dice. And to top it off, we have about 3 servings. Ketchup, no sugar added, absolute game changer. And this is an elite breakfast. Again, only 570 calories worth right here. Maximizing volume and 2 breakfast sandwiches to start every morning. Game changer. And you're giving me life, baby. It's alright. It's all in the way you go. So the big one, Jackson, he's currently down 22 pounds and Oakley kind of picked up some of that weight. So every day we have to walk the boys at least 2 times around the block. Usually I'm the one who takes them around lunchtime, and then Megan will take them after work. But just as important for me to keep my cardio in, to not get fat, even in the off season, it's important for these boys to make sure they get these steps in. Second roll.
It's disgusting.
Bro, the problem is like when you have dogs, it makes everything worse. Like if I were to do that with no dogs that lived in this house, it'd be no problem. But this isn't something you can just like wipe off. Like there's a fur ball on top of here. Both of the boys are on diets, so we have to spend way too much money on their diet food. It's funny because he knows that he gets 2 scoops, so he'll just completely stop and just wait. Hopefully they can get shredded. They're currently he's currently 2 weeks out from stepping on stage, and Jackson's about 24 weeks out, so we still have a bit to go with this one. And right now we have ground beef, 93.7. We have fried rice. Yes, fried rice, best in the game. And then we have zucchini, absolutely amazing. Yes, I do practically like to char my food. It's a bodybuilder thing. I don't know why, but ground beef tastes better when it's basically rock hard. Oh my God, I should not have gotten him this damn toy. But meal 2 going, so meal 2 going down here, we have 250 grams of white rice, 168 grams. Jesus, you would think I had a prep brain. 168 grams beef, and then 100 grams of zucchini, and 80 grams of banana. Now, this is one of those prep finds that I had that was absolutely amazing. Beef, rice, zucchini, and banana. So again, same exact meal as I had when I was in prep, but now just more of it. And not gonna put a little bit of sauces, a little bit of seasonings on it. Game changer.
2:33, lit up the phone. You let me see that you're all alone. You're like the boy, you make the moves. I fill the void for you. Shut up, don't speak. You complicate things and you know what I mean.
And just like that, it is already time for meal 3. And before we get to that, if this doesn't look like the most bodybuilding fridge of all time, I don't know what does. But meal 3 might look familiar because ground beef has been a staple. And if I hear somebody say that I just beat the meat, I swear. All right, guys, so what we have here is meal 3. It looks familiar, right? Just beef, rice, 200 grams, 168 grams of beef. We'll put the macros here on the screen. But like I said, guys, my dogs have been playing with the same toy for hours. All right, guys, so I'll be honest. I'm one of those guys when I do cardio that I hold on, and I've been getting a little flack from it. So I'm gonna try my best to slowly break that habit, but with my lower back being like an 80-year-old man, and I have basically one knee, it might take a little bit of time. So for now, they're gonna stay on, but I'll be conscious of it. So right now, we are knocking out a quick 15 minutes, just getting the heart elevated. Like I said, today's a rest day, so I like to do my post meal 3, 15 minutes of cardio, but typically I would just do it in the morning. This is the lowest my cardio has ever been. 4 sessions a week at 15 minutes. Usually, even deep into an off season, my cardio would stay at 5 sessions a week at like 25 minutes. That's the lowest it's ever been before. So right now, we're just focusing more towards heart health. Getting your heart elevated, helping food digest. And I also go on a lot of like digestion walks, about 10 minutes, just one lap around my development, just to, again, aid in digestion. But overall, this off season has been one of the best, man. It's hard to explain. And it's more of a mental game, right? In the past, when I get done shows, I really get into like a mini depression with like the post-show blues, just missing the conditioning, not feeling like myself, just being so focused on a goal and then just not, I feel like the goal was so far away, at least of stepping on stage. And especially this year, I had a fear of it with just not accomplishing the goal, the end goal. But this transition has been just a lot easier to digest than I ever expected. It wasn't easy to start, there's no question about that, but I've been able to wrap my head around the process and understanding that there's just things that I need to do. There's a long game that I need to play, and I just can't keep trying to inch my way in, right? I want to break that motherfucking door in. So taking this off season, we're gonna be back at it early. And that's what I'm excited. I've never competed early in the season before in my life. I've always been middle of summer, and now we're getting back at it, man. In May, we'll be back on stage, ready to battle it out, and I'm just doing everything I can this off season. I'm training my ass off. I'm just trying my best to not miss any steps. Cross all my T's, dot all my I's, hold myself accountable, and just not feel the feeling that I felt this year with not being on the Olympia stage. So it's only a matter of time, man. So we're just gonna keep doing our paying our dues and doing what we need to do. And we'll be back. There's no question we'll be back. And for the second to last meal, meal 4, we have a beauty. We have 6 ounces of ribeye steak, 150 grams of white rice, and 90 grams of asparagus. One of my favorite meals. Now, one thing that I like to do closer to the end of the night is add a little bit more variety. Things that I didn't necessarily have on prep, and keep the first 3 meals pretty consistent to what I've had on prep. So now that we're getting to the fun parts of this full day of eating, one of my favorite meals, my go-to in an off season, beautiful steak. One thing that you'll notice is a slight decrease in carbs compared to the rest of the day, because we need to save a little bit of room for what's to come for meal 5, the final meal of the day. So we're in a slight predicament here. So we have dug out the old Xbox, but unfortunately we have an Xbox 360 controller which does not link with the Xbox One, so we can't relive our past. And I want to kick Johnny's ass in Fortnite, and unfortunately we can't. So we're gonna have to right this wrong. Bag secured. It's time to kick Johnny's ass. All right, Johnny. Let's get to work. Let's plug these bad boys up. Go get your tissues, brother.
I'm about to whoop your ass.
So right now we're on 1 update out of 3. So fingers crossed that it's actually going to update in time for me to show Johnny what I'm actually capable of. But if not, we'll have to play this in another video. But fingers crossed. But it is almost time for the final meal of the day. Meal number 5 consists of 30 grams of whey nutter butter protein from Ghost, the best protein. I've used it in prep, I use it in the off season, it never gets old. Superset it with Eggo waffles. Guys, when it comes to the final meal of the day, and I know a lot of you guys can probably relate to this, your hunger, your leptin, you just get starving at night. Like, the cravings kick up. So it's a lot easier for me to stay on track throughout the day, hit my macros without having to overthink it, knowing that I'm going to get something that's going to cure my cravings at night. And that's why I usually save my last meal for something, whether it's waffles, ice cream, even the Ninja Creamy, right? Like, I can't lie. The cookies, closer to the holidays, it's always been tradition. But like I was saying, saving a meal that's satiation, something you can look forward to the end of the night, is going to be an absolute game changer. And for me, tonight, it is 10 Eggo waffles. 10. You heard that right here. A total of 150 grams of carbs, 43 grams of protein, and 25 grams of fat to cap off the macros for today. Come on now. You can still hit your macros and eat 10 waffles. Let's love it, man. So the total macros for today, let me make sure I don't get this wrong. 264 grams of protein, 79 grams of fat, and 397 grams of carbs. Just to aid with that, I take Digest All with every single like bigger meal that maybe has a little bit of, unhealthy processed. So So to digest all, typically it gets taken with my last meal, which tends to be the meal that has its most fun, just to kind of help with digestion. But again, when it comes to an if it fits your macro approach, which is the approach that I like taking in my off seasons, it allows flexibility, it allows variety, it allows sanity. And when I'm in a prep for 32 plus weeks and I transition into an off season, I want to be able to execute the meal. I want to be able to enjoy my meals, and I want to be able to eat foods that aren't necessarily just chicken and rice. But again, we're on track. We feel good. Our mental is clear. And honestly, this has been the approach that works best for me. And that approach is different for everybody, right? So make sure you understand that there is no one size fits all approach in this sport. It's what you can follow the best. It's what allows you to stay on track, but also still stay in alignment to your end goal. And that's everything. So again, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was one that I was excited to finally make, show you guys my crazy, I guess not so crazy, diet, and again, just how I am planning to take on this off season. I'll see you guys in the next video, and stay tuned, because as the food increases, I might just have to do another full day of eating.